Good noon, everyone. Today, we're gonna make apple pie. Here we have everything that we need for apple pie. It's simple enough. It's pretty easy. You just need a bag of apples, a cup of pie crust, some sugar. I like brown sugar, so I'm gonna throw a little bit of that in there. A little bit of salt, cinnamon. We've got some nutmeg, some ginger, of course, some cornstarch to thicken it all up. It's a very easy process. Let's learn how to do that today.
What's up? We're making apple pie today. Got a whole bunch of apples here, just washed them up. Now, I don't own a fancy peeler. I actually don't even own a potato peeler at the moment. There's nothing wrong with that, honestly.
I just got my trusty paring knife.
Real chef. Real knife.
It's a pretty easy thing to do. Just basically use your thumb, use your knife. You're gonna put your thumb against an apple. Pick side any side. Usually the side closest to you works. And I just drag the knife towards me. Nice and easy. It's really not hard. See? Kind of wiggle the knife. You can kind of open and close your hand a little bit. Give it a little bit of vibration here, and that'll kind of like help cut it. That way you're just not forcing the knife through the apple skin and bruising your apple. See, it's just a little vibration. I'm just kind of like using my pinky, just kind of squeeze my knife into the meat a little bit while I do this. And it makes it a very quick and easy process. You can see it's coming right off, no problem. Clean up the bottom here. Clean up the top. It's one apple done. We're gonna go ahead and drop her into the bowl, and we're gonna keep on going, all right? That's it. Have a bowl full of apples.
Now it's time to slice.
Slicing apples is easy enough. I'm just gonna continue using my paring knife. Just gonna cut it in half. All right. I'm just gonna make a little triangle around the core here. I'm gonna get rid of the seeds. First, let's go ahead and slice all of them. All right, now that they're all sliced, it's time to get rid of these seeds. It's very easy to do. I'm just gonna tilt my apple, cut at an angle. Do the same on the other side. That's all right, if we got pieces popping off, we're gonna slice them up anyways. So, do the same over here. Same over there, right? Just get the seeds out. All right, these pieces right here, perfect. We're gonna slice those up. We're gonna continue to do that. You even cut from the top. All right, let's get the seeds out. All right, and then you cut from the top. I'm kind of making a triangle here, cutting here, cutting here. That's all you need to do is just make a triangle. Oh, just clean it up a little bit. That's it. That's all we're doing. Do it again. One here. It's got some big seeds in it. Easy. Just clean it up a little bit. That's all you gotta do is a little triangle. You don't gotta overcomplicate it. You know? You could use an apple core if you got one. But this is why I've got the skills to pay the bills, baby. Working in professional kitchens, usually have one or two peelers laying around. More often than not, they're either buried somewhere in dish pit or lost already. Well, one thing I've always got on me is my handy knife. So I learned how to peel and do everything traditionally by hand because of necessity. That's what you got. Now that all of the apples are done, clean up any ends that are left here. Same little process. I'm just doing a triangle, just changing the angle. Cleaning up little ends. Oop, done. I'm gonna continue to use my paring knife because why not? Now, there's kind of two ways I can slice it. I can either slice it this way, but that's gonna give me some bad cuts because of this triangle. Or I could follow it, slice it this way. I think that makes a little more sense. All right, so I know you can kind of see it here. I'm just gonna take my paring knife. I like thin slices. By thin, like that's cut 3 times. I like thin slices, just because I can get a little more surface area when it comes to seasoning everything. They cook a little better. See? Thin slicing. Of course you can go, you know, big chunks and whatnot. That's cool too. Big chunks are cool. You know, it's your pie. Do whatever you want. I personally like the thin slice. Boom. Done. That's all she wrote. Yeah, you can use fancy stuff, but it's how to use knife skills. I'm going to do a whole course on how to do knife skills, various knife skills, whether you're using a paring knife or a chef knife. You know, there's skills to be had, you know. A lot of my skills were required because I didn't have the right tools. As, you know, honestly, that's how most of it comes to fruition, I'm sure. All right, these are looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw them in a bowl. We got our sliced apples. Here we got the recipe for our filling. We've got 8 apples, which we just sliced up. Half a cup of sugar, and since I like brown sugar, we got a 1/4 cup of that as well. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, ground ginger. You can add fresh in there if you want. If you got it, why not? I like to add a little lemon juice. We got butter, which is optional. I'm lactose intolerant, so I avoid it. We also got 1 tablespoon of cornstarch to help thicken everything up while it's cooking in there, and egg wash for the top. All right, everyone, we're gonna take our apples. I could take some lemon juice here. Give it a good squeeze. And I'm gonna roll the apples around in the juice. This kind of brightens everything up. Separate all the apples that didn't finish separating. Give it a little bit more love there. Next, we're gonna mix all of our dry ingredients into this bowl. So we're gonna start with sugar. We're gonna do about 1/2 cup of sugar. The reason why I'm doing less sugar is because I just want less sugar. That's okay. A lot of people call for a lot of sugar. I tend to like things a little less sweet. So I just take a little bit off the top. That's my personal thing. You have full authority to send it. You can go as sweet or as less sweet. You can put no sugar in there if you wanted, but I'm gonna put a little bit less here into my bowl. Same thing with my brown. I'm not even gonna bother to pack it just because I want there to be a little bit less sugar. All right, that's about what I need. I'm perfectly happy with that. I'm gonna mix the sugar up real good. Break up some of these granules now. There's like large pieces in here. Go ahead and break these chunks up now while it's easy. I'm gonna put 1 whole tablespoon of cornstarch into my mixture. This is a substitution for flour. This is not a gluten-free recipe. Mix that up. Now, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I like cinnamon, it's good stuff. Next, gonna go 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. 1/4 teaspoon salt. I like a little bit more salt. Now, we're gonna take our apples, we're gonna take our dry mix, we're gonna dump it all over the apples. Just like that. We're gonna stir it up. Make sure all of the apples are evenly coated, everybody's separated. There we go. pie crust. I currently don't own a food processor. That's why I'm doing it this way. If I did, you would be getting a class right now on how to make pie crust. It's a really easy process. It's just water, cold butter, flour, salt, done. All right, it's really a no-brainer. But you do need that food processor in order to blend up the cold butter really well. But I don't have that, and that's okay. Pie crusts are available and they work great. Honestly, they work great. Sometimes it can be hard to beat some of these other products, you know, so just go ahead and use it. Lay it out nice and flat. Try to make sure that there's no bubbles on your corners. All right. Take your pie filling. Ooh, baby. I'm gonna use my fingers. Not gonna use a metal spoon. Personally, you can use a rubber spatula, but I'm here and I'm now. Just kind of like settle everything a little bit, you know, without kind of disturbing what you've done too much. Just kind of make sure that it's in there and that your edges are gonna be clear of sharp pokey bits, like here at the bottom, that'll keep you from sealing it on the top. There's a nice big mound on top. I like a nice mounded pie. It can make it harder to cook the center, okay? I know this going into that. I like it mounded, but I still want it to cook evenly. Kind of a little secret. I'm making like a little hole in the middle. So it's almost like a donut. If you can kind of see it right here. This is gonna let me kind of have that mounded pie. And I can take an apple, kind of cross strut right across, all right? But there's a hole in the middle, kind of right here. Just a tiny little one that's gonna help get some of that heat into the center while I still have a big mounded pie. Little secrets. Shh, don't tell anybody. So, now that we have our beautiful pie filling, I'm gonna trim the edges a little bit here. Go ahead and start here. Just take my knife, nice and easy. All the way around the edge of the pie. I'm using my finger to stabilize it. Otherwise, see, it kind of really pulls up and down. I don't want it to accidentally lift my pie crust up. Just use my the edge of my finger to kind of help guide. Done. A little love tap there. Done. All right, next. Go ahead and take our second piece. Just gonna drape it over the top. You can cross thatch if you wish. I kind of want to save that for a knife scale video. But what I like to do here is kind of tuck it in a little bit, nice and tight. I kind of want to get rid of these air pockets here on the side. This is how I like to do it. Because if there's a big air pocket, I find you get this weird gap where things just kind of steam and don't really cook that well. So I'll kind of just tuck it in along the edges here, right? Just kind of tap it along the top. I'm not really pushing in there really hard. It just sealing everything is what we're looking for, right? And you crimp over the edges. You can use a fancy little flute, you know, if you want. You could pinch. Kind of like a dumpling. I'll save that for another video. I'm not the best at this. It's a little better, there we go. I should have gone a little bigger on the first ones. All right. You can use one of those fancy little crimpers. Those are pretty cool. They got those over at Kitchen Barn over here. I'm a minimalist for now. Wait, with your help, maybe I'll get some new gadgets. So I want to put some holes in here. It's gonna steam a lot. There's a lot of moisture in the apples. So I'm just gonna put some slits here at the top. You get super cute with it. You know what? Let's go ahead. Let's get cute with it. Let's put some little hearts in there. So I'm gonna score where I want the hearts to be. Oh, it's a little off center. Here, then I'll do two of them. I'll do a double heart. How about that? I'm just gonna kind of just draw it, cut it out. I want them there. So I'm just gonna kind of lift them up and they're gonna curl up. It'll be really cute. See what happens with it. Why not? Just give it a little cut. Just slowly moving my knife up and down. I'm gonna pull it up. I'll hit it with some egg. Maybe they'll curl up and kind of look like little butterflies. Just taking my knife, see? Little hearts. Cause why not? Probably would have been better if I didn't score it, but I was kind of hoping the edges would pop up. They kind of look like little butterflies. See what happens. I'm just gonna add a few more holes here on the sides. There we go. Gonna take an egg. Don't have a brush right now, but I'll just use a paper towel. Put a little egg on there. Be all right. Use your fingers if you want. But try to be clean. Let's put a little egg wash. Just coat the whole thing. I'll save that egg for lunch. Next, I like to add a little salt to the top. I like to salt all of my layers for the most part, but just a little bit on top. Just because once in a while you're gonna come across a nice little granule of salt that's just gonna elevate everything. Sometimes it'll just have a little crunch. Sometimes it'll just hit your taste bud at just the right time. Next, I take a little bit of cinnamon. I'm gonna dust over the top. Nice and evenly. Next, just a touch of nutmeg. Just kind of float over the top. Just kind of even everything out. Just a touch. So then you can smell it. You're gonna smell it when this thing comes out of the oven. And we're gonna do the same with a little bit of ginger. Just dusting, just a little bit, just so you could smell it when it comes out of there. That's all that is. Give my crust a season. Next, take a little sugar. Ooh, there's some nice granules right there. The big ones on the top. Here we go. Now we have our absolutely beautiful pie. We've got plenty of yummy seasonings there on top. That'll add a nice mouthfeel to everything when it's done. We got some little hearts on there because why not? We'll see if they'll pop up like little butterflies or not. It'll help vent everything out. Let's see how she goes. We're gonna put her in at the oven. 425. We're gonna throw her in there for about 45 minutes.
All right, we're taking a look at our pie. That's looking great. These edges are starting to brown a little bit, so I'm gonna put some foil on the edge.
Here we are, looking halfway through our cooking process. We gotta put foil on it. All right, edges are looking a little brown, which is fantastic. It's great news. And the little hearts are looking like little butterflies. So I'm just gonna wrap a little foil around the edge here. This is to protect my pie crust edges specifically from overcooking. The edges are really thin, therefore they cook the quickest. Okay, we're gonna take our other half, fold it. I'm gonna clean up my edge, just the bottom. That way I don't fold it all the way in half. Use too much. Now I don't need quite as much, so I'm just gonna tear some off, shorten it up, do it again. I don't want to overlap the foil too much because those spots that are overlapped won't cook quite the same. But of course, there's gonna have to be some. So there we go, throw a little foil on the edge there. Ooh, it's still hot. Put her on there. There we go. Let's get her back in the oven. All right, let's take a look, shall we? Ooh. Let's take her out. There she is. Let's let her cool down for a little while. Oh, look at that pie. Got our little clovers on here. All right, it's dessert time. Let's take a look at our pie here. It's falling apart because I'm just using a spoon. I don't got a little pie thing right now. Homemade apple pie. Let's give it a taste. Super flaky. And taste the ginger. Plenty of cinnamon. It's not too sweet. It's got plenty of tang. Apples are cooked perfectly. Put some ice cream on the side if that's for you. It's beautiful, baby. Big Dawg out.